Assalamu alaikum, hello and welcome. In the subject of cost accounting, the topic which is named as flow of manufacturing costs through ledger accounts is very important and crucial topic to be learned. In this topic, we will learn how a manufacturing cost of a product flows through ledger accounts in a manufacturing concern. As far as merchandising business is concerned, in a merchandising business, the product or inventory is being purchased by the suppliers. The amount of money which is paid by a merchandising company to the supplier would be the cost price. But this is not the case for manufacturing companies. The manufacturing companies first produces or manufactures goods. Then afterwards it's going to sell to the customers. The total amount of money which is spent on the production of the goods or product will be treated as the total cost of production. And this cost, total cost of production, includes the amount of money which is paid for the materials, the amount of money which is paid to the laborers, and the amount of money which is incurred, which has been incurred for operating a factory. We will learn step by step all these items. First of all, we must be having clear understanding about the terms or terminologies which have been used in this process. This is the total phenomena. This is the total cycle or the total phenomena which is being used by a manufacturing concern. Now, moving over to the first ingredient, materials. Materials means raw materials. Raw materials means the goods, the unprocessed goods, which needs some process. In order to make this material to put in a condition for the utilization or for the consumption. But at the moment, it is not being used or utilized until it is further processed. It is in a raw form. For example, the oil companies extract oil from the land or from the ground, which is in a crude form, which is not in a position to be used. So the oil companies take this oil to the plants, to their sites. They're going to pass through a long process through plants, and then afterwards they are going to purify this crude oil in order to make a purified form which is called as petroleum. So crude oil is a raw material for the gasoline or petroleum. Likewise, wood, timber or lumber is a raw material for the furniture making companies. In order to make a cabinet or a table or a chair or any furniture, wood is a raw material. Likewise, for textile companies, fabric or cotton is a raw material. All these will term as the raw materials. Now, moving over to the next ingredient, which is payroll. Payroll means the amount of money which is paid to the laborers, especially employees who are engaged in converting that raw material into finished products or finished goods. Likewise, all expenses or all costs which are going to apply or which are going to incur in a factory during production will be treated as a FOH control or a factory overhead control. Work in process. Work in process means up the work which has been started but has not yet been completed. The production activities has been started, but these activities has not yet been completed. It is in a process of completion. Then finished goods is the completed goods or manufactured goods which is in a ready to sell condition to the customers. Cost of goods sold, which is simply, we have already been known that the amount, the inventory which has been sold, the cost of inventory which has been sold to the customers. All this process, these 6 major accounts which are used in this process. You see, the cost flows from material, from payroll, from factory overhead to the work in process account, then afterwards to the finished goods account, and then afterwards to the cost. All these phenomena of this process is done as the flow of manufacturing costs through ledger accounts. We will see each and every account very minutely, very deeply, so that we could understand how this phenomena happens. Now the materials, in order to study materials, we have to understand there are 2 major types of materials: direct material and indirect material. These are 2 major types of materials, and we must be having clear difference between these two types: direct material and indirect material. Direct material means all those materials which become a significant part or integral part or the main body or the main part of the finished products. For example, wood for the furniture is a direct material. Cotton or fabric is a direct material for the preparation or for manufacturing of a suit or a cloth or a dress. Bricks is a direct material. Bricks, the utilization of bricks is a direct material. The bricks are the direct materials which are being used in the construction of a building or of a house or a bungalow or a room. So bricks are direct materials for the construction of a house. They become significant part, integral part of the product. But as far as indirect materials are concerned, they do not become significant part of a finished product. No doubt they would be the part of a finished product, but in a negligible way. For example, indirect materials, the cost of indirect materials or indirect materials are being used in a small quantity, and the cost of these small quantity raw materials, indirect materials, is not possible to be calculated for a specific good or of a specific item. For example, in the manufacturing of a chair or a table or a cabinet, wood would be the direct material, but nails are also being utilized. Nails, glue also being utilized, but in a very small quantity, the cost of which cannot be ascertained, cannot be allocated to a specific item. They are being purchased for bulk production, for the mass production, not for the particular product. Therefore, this sort of small quantity goods which are being used in the manufacturing process will be treated as indirect material. Thread is an indirect material in the manufacturing of a suit, in sewing a suit or a cloth. So we must be having clear understanding or clear difference between direct materials and indirect materials. So in short, direct materials are those materials which become a significant part of the finished products or finished goods. The main body, boards for the furniture, cotton or fabric for the clothes or textile mills, bricks and cement, the direct material for a house. Thread is an indirect material for the clothes. Glue, nails, screws are indirect materials for the furniture. Now, the materials, we have to understand the process. The process of manufacturing starts from the purchase of raw materials. From whom? From the suppliers. Manufacturing companies purchase raw materials, which includes definitely direct material and indirect material. Materials means collectively. It is a collective name of direct materials. It includes both direct material and indirect materials. The process of manufacturing companies starts from the purchase of raw materials or direct materials and indirect materials. So we have to understand the first step in the manufacturing process is the purchase of materials from the suppliers. As the raw materials have been purchased from the suppliers, they are first put in a raw material storeroom. The first step, the first process, the step in the process of manufacturing starts from the purchase of raw material, and after having been purchased all these raw materials, they are put in a material storeroom.